Have you ever been concerned about properly insuring your photography business? My name is Howard Burkholz. Photography is my passion, insurance my profession. Combine the two, add years of experience, and I'm uniquely qualified to help professional photographers with the right insurance products. The information is advisory in nature. It does not guarantee coverage. See your insurance policy for specific coverage, exclusions, and limitations. This video will explain the financial risks professional photographers face and the insurance coverages that offer protection. Together, our goal is to set up a customized program that transfers the risk of financial loss from your pocket to a third party, in this case an insurance carrier. You pay the premium and they assume the risk. The foundation of every excellent professional photographer's insurance program is called a business owner's policy, nicknamed a BOP. A BOP is a package including dozens of coverages. I will discuss equipment damage, breakage and theft, injury to the public or clients, the financial damages a client may incur as a result of your errors or omissions, financial damages that you may be liable for as a result of failure to deliver photographic products, data recovery services should your digital storage fail, cyber risks, and more. First, let's address bodily injury to others. The coverage that protects you from an insurance policy is called general liability. Here are some examples of situations that would protect you. You meet a client at your studio, a rented studio, or on location. Your client is injured during the shoot. A light stand tips over and strikes the client, or a bench you position your client to sit on breaks, or perhaps a creative positioning for a stunning shot leads to harm. In these situations and many others, general liability coverage will give you protection. General liability is offered with a per occurrence limit, say $1 million, and an aggregate limit, say $2 million. Aggregate meaning the total the policy will pay during a single policy period if there are multiple occurrences. Damage to the property of others is also covered by general liability. Let's suppose that you are photographing a sporting event. During the shoot, you position yourself in a location that interferes with an athlete, causing bodily injury and property damage. You may be found liable for both bodily injury and damage to the athlete's bicycle in this example. These expenses can be significant. What if your shoot is not as simple as you, the photographer, and your client? What if your shoot involves assistants, either subcontractors and/or employees? General liability is afforded to clients, a third party, when negligence exists. General liability does not extend to you or your employees or your subcontractors. You and your employees or subcontractors may be covered by workers' compensation, which is not part of a BOP. Once again, you cannot be liable to yourself, therefore liability coverage cannot extend to you. When using subcontractors, your policy liability covers the activity of your subcontractor. But shouldn't they have their own insurance? Ask yourself, do I want my insurance policy to pay a claim for a subcontractor's negligent action? Here's an example. When you do a shoot at a venue, the venue often requires you to add them as an additional insured. This makes your policy the primary and non-contributor coverage for your activity. If your activity leads to your liability for something, the claim will be filed with your policy, not theirs. In like manner, I suggest you have your subcontractors carry their own liability insurance and add you as an additional insured to their policy, making their policy primary and non-contributory for their activity. When you apply to an insurance company for a new policy, they assess the risk they are assuming. Are you a low risk of future claims photographer or high risk of future claims photographer? During this underwriting process, some insurance companies determine the risk is too great for their pricing models and won't offer coverage to you. Drone photography falls into this area. Fewer carriers offer coverage to UAS photographers, and the price for the insurance is aligned with the higher risk exposures they are assuming. If you use a drone, plan to pay more for insurance and realize that your choice of insurance companies offering coverage is reduced. Having proper equipment coverage is paramount to protecting your business assets and your ability to generate income. Damage, breakage, and theft are all covered perils to protect your equipment. There are many ways equipment can be damaged. Photographers do some amazing things to get the shot. When a loss occurs, a claim settlement will be handled on a replacement cost or an actual cash value basis. Make sure you understand which of the two options your policy offers. Replacement cost is superior. With replacement cost, your insured business property is typically covered for what it would cost to purchase that item new at the time of the loss. Actual cash value factors in an element of depreciation. Note, professional lenses hold their value very well, so actual cash value settlement is sometimes very favorable. A 5-year-old camera body, however, will not have as favorable a claim settlement under actual cash value as replacement cost. Equipment coverage on a BOP usually has exclusions for coverage when it is outside of the United States and Canada. In this case, inland marine coverage is offered. Most inland marine coverage is on an actual cash value basis and requires a schedule of items, say, worth $500 or more. Both BOP and inland marine coverages protect you against property in your care, custody, and control. This includes rented equipment. It is not uncommon for an equipment rental company to require you to add them to your policy as a loss payee and provide a certificate of insurance. What could go wrong here, and how would your policy respond? As a tornado chasing photographer, bodily injury or death could strike. Let's talk strictly about general liability coverage on the BOP. General liability may or may not exist. It depends on the relationship you have with the individual in this image. If you are the photographer in this image, there is no coverage under general liability. You can't be liable to yourself. If the individual is a model that you hired to create images for yourself to sell or for a client, then you do not have liability for injury to this person. Think of it this way. You can't be liable to yourself, and when you hire a model or a subcontractor, they are now on your team and are essentially you. On the other hand, if this individual is a client and you initiated the shot creative, you may be liable if injury occurs to your client. In all cases, it is a good idea to define the relationship you have with others in your contract, including having waivers signed. Workers' compensation is a separate policy that would be necessary when you have employees and use subcontractors. Professional liability coverage is designed to protect the insured against legal obligation arising out of professional errors, negligent acts, or omissions during the course of practicing their profession. Coverage limits are available up to $1 million. Here are some examples. You arrive at the wrong venue with no time to correct the error. Not showing up. You wrote down the wrong date on your calendar. Losing or damaging memory cards or film after completing a job. Images released to an incorrect party. Reshooting expenses can be assessed, and expenses due to legal fees and court costs can be covered. Of all the coverages that I see missing on an insurance policy, this is the most frequent. Loss of business income coverage is designed to protect you against loss of business income as a result of a covered loss. Here's some examples. Your camera bag is stolen from your car while parked outside your studio just hours before a shoot. No time to rent gear, resulting in loss of the contract. Your camera is damaged when dropping it. There is time to rent a camera. The coverage pays for rental of replacement equipment under extra expense, so you don't lose income while your camera is being repaired. Or your studio is damaged in a fire, broken pipe, or vandalism. Extra expense coverage can help set your business up at a temporary location during repairs. Damage to a premises you rent is designed to protect you against damages to a premises rented to you against fire and with broadened coverage additional perils. Limits begin at $50,000. Here's some examples. A photographer rents a studio off premises for a half-day shoot. While there, his or her client breaks a mirror. Or a photographer rents a conference room at a hotel to shoot 50 high school seniors. Damage occurs to the conference room while conducting the event. Data recovery coverage pays for your data to be recovered from a damaged hard drive. A few examples. You drop an external hard drive causing damage. Hard drive will not boot up. Expenses are paid for a third-party company who specializes in data recovery to extract the data and copy it to a new hard drive. Or a water pipe breaks at your premises, causing damage to a laptop which contains over 40,000 images. Expenses are paid for a third-party company which specializes in data recovery to extract the data and copy it to a new drive. Or an electrical surge fries the data storage device. Money and securities covers you against loss of money or securities due to theft, disappearance, or destruction. Up to $10,000 on premises and $5,000 off premises. This would be an important coverage if you handle cash in your business, and a robbery would obviously affect your income. Valuable papers covers up to $50,000 for damages or destruction of important documents used in your business, or a pipe bursts all over your desks or filing cabinets containing your critical documents. There are some optional coverages that can be added to a BOP. First, Cyber 1. Your computer suffers damages with a virus, malware, phishing, or the new ransomware. 2. Data compromise. Your client's personal information is hacked from your computer. Your client seeks damages for losses suffered. Photography endorsement is a combination coverage broadening both equipment coverage and professional liability or errors and omissions coverage. First, the off-premises business personal property, your computers, cameras, lenses, is increased with a replacement cost claim settlement. And second, failure to deliver photographic products due to corrupt memory storage or film. This is a specific errors and omissions situation that can arise. Now remember, workers' compensation is a separate policy and can't be added as a rider on a BOP. There is no coverage on a BOP that pays for medical, disability, death, etc. for you, your employees, or subcontractors. That concludes this presentation. We hope you have found it to be informative and helpful. We invite you to request a customized proposal at nationalphotographersinsurance.com or give us a phone call and we will advise you or answer any questions that you may have. Thanks for listening.